Hey guys, I'm Erik Valind. I'm a lifestyle portrait photographer based out of New York City. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Broncolor Siros kit. Now the lights by themselves are already some of my favorites to use out there on location and in studio because of how versatile they are. Now the great thing about the kit is it's just as versatile with the modifiers they include as the lights themselves. So let's go ahead and jump in here, take a look at all the modifiers, and then put them together with the Siros, and I'm going to run you through a ton of different lighting setups to show you just what this thing is capable of. Alright, so for this setup, we're going to use the built-in reflector. These actually do a wonderful job of focusing the light. We get a nice concentration on our model's face, and we don't have that much spill falling all over the rest of the scene. So with any of the modifiers we're using here, we can also take advantage of our ambient light in the room, or in this case from these beautiful windows, or we can go ahead and dial it down so it doesn't have any bearing on the photo whatsoever. So in this case, I started out at 1/200th of a second, really fast shutter speed. Our one Siros with the standard reflector are the only things illuminating our model. Now I'm going to slow down my shutter speed and open up my aperture a little bit so we have some of this light coming in from the opposite side and acting like a fill. So we've got the nice hard light, great shadow, Rembrandt lighting patterns, all that we wanted, and now we're just going to raise the shadows a little bit by using this ambient light from our window. That shows you what you can do with just the standard reflectors that come with the Siros. What I love about them though is they are actually umbrella reflectors. So in the kit you do get a silver bounce umbrella, and these reflectors are perfectly designed to shield the light when it's in storage, to give you a nice projection of light so you can take some harder light portraits right out of the box. And then they also have the perfect spread on them to fill a silver umbrella like this. So we're going to go ahead and throw this on, and I'll show you how that'll soften up our light a little bit by enlarging the light source and then bouncing it back at our subject. So just like we did it with the reflector here, we're also going to do it with the bounce umbrella. We got some great shots with just the umbrella. You can see how it enlarges the light source, wraps it around our model's face a little more. Now I'm going to slow down my shutter speed, open up my aperture, allow a lot more light in, and this beautiful bank of windows is going to act as our fill. So we've only been using a single light here with an umbrella, but it looks like we have a fill light and a beautiful key light all at the same time. And now we have the softbox that comes in the kit. This is the 2x2 foot softbox, which means it's big enough to give us that nice soft wrapping light around our subject. The bigger the light, the softer it is when you bring it in close. So what I also love about it is it's a great softbox in that it has two different levels of diffusion. One inside to make sure the light spreads out evenly, and then the front for that ultimate level of diffusion and even exposure from edge to edge. So you have great coverage, even exposure, and that ultimate diffusion to make sure we don't have any glaring hot spots on our subject's skin. Now what I love about this is just like the umbrella, it's bigger, so we're creating soft light, but whereas the umbrella bounces everywhere, the softbox gives us that directional control. And that allows us to get the beautiful soft light on our subject without illuminating the background, so we can let that go dark and she pops out even more in the final photo. So we've looked at what you can do with one light, and with one light with different modifiers, and those different modifiers while incorporating your ambient light. So now we want to break out the second light in the kit and start putting together two light setups. We saw with the umbrella that it gives us nice wrapping soft light and also spills onto the background, so we're going to use this guy as our main light, and it's going to do both of that. It's going to light our subject and our background, and then we added our 2x2 softbox, we moved it around back to get that nice soft beautiful controlled directional light wrapping over here on the shoulder, the hair light, and maybe a little rim on the face. Alright, so we've got another two lights set up here. We're utilizing both the umbrella and the softbox. I have the umbrella placed overhead because it's going to give us a softer light, but it's also going to give us a little more punchy shadows. So those are going to do wonders to sculpt out these great cheekbones of hers. And then at the same time, I've got our softbox directly below with that nice diffused light. I have it turned down to the bottom power, and what that's going to do is it's going to raise up those shadows just a little bit. So we're creating shadows to sculpt her, and then we're filling those shadows in just a little bit so we get that nice kiss of beauty light that we're looking for here with the clamshell lighting setup. So let's go ahead and get this shot, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so we've got another two light setup here. Again, we're using the softbox and the umbrella, except we've reversed them now. So I have the softbox up front. It's going to give us that beautiful wrapping diffused light on our subject's face. And because it's so directional, we're going to have the light coming this way and not spilling on the background, so we let that go dark. Now I still want a rim light here, so I have my second light set up. I have to use the umbrella back here, which is giving us beautiful light, but at the same time, it's also bouncing everywhere. So if you look at that hard line of shadow that it's casting on the wall, we don't want that, that's distracting. So what I'm gonna do is simply break down that umbrella so its throw of light is much more narrow and it's only gonna hit her again, and letting our background go dark, that'll allow her to pop off that background so she stands out even more in the photo. So let's go ahead and break that down. So now we've got what I call a poor man's softbox. We broke down our umbrella, nice focus light on our model, our background is still dark, so now these photos will have her popping off that dark background, nice rim lighting, and a beautiful diffused soft front. So here we have a 2-light setup, and instead of using the softbox or the umbrella like we have in a couple other setups, I'm just going to use the standard reflectors. Now I'm still keeping in mind my key light and fill light principle. This light over here is going to be a little bit brighter. What it's going to do is create deep dark shadows on the far side because these reflectors create a harder, a punchier, more contrasty kind of light, so we're going to get a lot of shadow here. And then this other light over here with the standard reflector is going to be on low power and just filling in that shadow a little bit. Now by having the hard silver in here and that little punchier, crispier light, it should give us a lot of texture in the skin, really pop out the hair, get the shine in the wet hair, the leather jacket, so it'll give us a lot of detail. What we're going for here is something a little more punchy, a little more grungy, so having the harder light sources from the standard reflectors are going to be perfect for this. So there you have it. There's a ton of versatility to be had in this kit. I hope you guys were inspired by just how many lighting setups we were able to go through very quickly and how versatile and varied the looks were. You notice how we went from hard light to soft light, 1 light to 2 light, shallow depth of field, tons of depth of field. So you don't really need a lot of gear to make great images, and you have just the right amount and everything you need in the Broncolor Siros kit to get out there and get shooting.